Hello everybody, I want to do a quick update on my Mammillaria microhelia cactus plant, which was a plant I recently unboxed, and I mentioned I would do any updates on the flower buds. I've noticed the plant towards the front of the pot with the green to yellow coloured buds. I think those are going to be a completely different colour flower to the other two cactus behind, which have more of a pink colour to them. So I particularly noticed this one here because the buds are shooting out really far and they've really accelerated over the last few days, and I put that down to the warmer weather we've had over the past couple of days. And then you can see those two larger pink ones there, they've really shot out as well. So today is a little bit colder and we're expecting a bit more colder weather, so I suspect these buds might slow down a bit again until the weather picks up. Look at how many buds there are going around the centre at the top there. It's going to be a beautiful display of flowers. And then this is a new plant that my son got for me the other day, and he chose it when he was in B&Q, and it had lots of flower buds on it, and these two flowers I've opened up in the last couple of days. So this is a Mammillaria and it has some golden hooked spines. So this will need to be repotted, but I'm going to wait until it's finished flowering. So back to the Mammillaria microhelia. When this progresses a bit more, then I'll do another update and add it onto this video. So yesterday I tried to pollinate that yellowy green flower at the front with pollen from that pink flower on the left hand side at the back. I shall try to repollinate them again today. The yellowy green flower looks almost like it's starting to close, and we have another pink one opening up now at the back today, so that was closed last night. This cactus at the front left seems to be a lot slower compared to the other two at producing the flower buds. So currently they're underneath my foldable grow lights, which are suspended about 12 inches above the canopy of most of the cactus plants on this shelf. And that seems to have been enough so far to accelerate the growth and the opening of the flower buds on this cactus. So on the same shelf we have this Mammillaria here, which has golden coloured hook spines. So when it had the flowers open yesterday, you can see there's a flower at the right hand side which is opening today, and then to the left of that a large swollen what appears to be a flower bud, but that was actually fully open yesterday, and I used some of the pollen from the Mammillaria microhelia and transferred it onto that flower here, and it appears to have closed, so perhaps maybe that was successfully pollinated. So you can see the Mammillaria microhelia in the background there, and then we've got this one just at the front of the shelf. So you can see how it's now closed up quite quickly actually, almost into like a little ball shape. So the light's not fantastic because I do have the grow lights on, so it can give a bit of a yellowy appearance to the filming. But this is a very, very, very vibrant fuchsia coloured pink on this flower. So because I have these two different coloured flowering varieties of this microhelia, I've been cross-pollinating the two different coloured flowers, so hopefully it should increase the chances of having successfully pollinated flowers. So it was quite a surprise to see I had some mixed coloured flowers in one pot. I especially love that yellowy green coloured flower, it's beautiful. Very yellow, and then it's got a slight hint of green to it, especially on the outer tepals of the flower. They're very quick to open as well, so once they really do push out of those spines, it's pretty imminent for it to open up very quickly. Just over a matter of 2 or 3 hours it will unfurl and open. It's very overcast today and quite chilly. The cactus still wants to flower. It's under the grow lights. So today it's the 8th of April, so there's still flower buds opening, still got flowers opening and some are closing now. So if we look at the yellow flowers here, this one here has been opened for nearly 7 days. It's only just starting to close today. So on average the flowers open and close every single day for about 6 to 7 days before they finally close up. And regardless of whether I've pollinated them or not, they still continue to stay open and carry on opening up on the days after pollination. So looking at the pink flowering variety here, you can see that little round bobbly bit there. So that flower's continued to die back and it's like a little ball. So I'm not sure whether that's successfully pollinated or not. So I cross-pollinated it with the pollen from the yellowy green coloured flower. So that was one of the first flowers to open. Then just at the back here is the next flower that I've cross-pollinated with the pollen from the yellow flower. So that's now closing up. So I've got another flower here still open and one at the back, so I'll be using some of the pollen from these more newly opened flowers to pollinate that one. So it'll be interesting to see what this yellow flower does here, because I cross-pollinated that one with the pollen from the pink flower. So we've got another new one at the back opening there. And then this one to the left, that's a new one. And that one pointing out there will be the next one to open up. So the flowers have been opening up in little flushes, so 1 or 2 at a time. Not all at the same time because the buds are developing at different rates. And the cactus at the front here, this one's been the slowest. So we've finally got a flower here now, starting to open. Over the last couple of days it's really progressed. So that will be the next one to open up. And I expect it's exactly the same colour as this one here. It looks to be. But just look at how many more buds are still left to come out of this cactus. There's absolutely loads all around the top of the cactus. So comparing the yellow flowering one to the pink flowering one, I have found that the yellow flowers are slightly longer and larger than the pink flowers, which is interesting. And they are absolutely beautiful and quite large actually for a Mammillaria flower. And I do like the shape of them, how they have a long tubular look to them, almost like a little trumpet. So I think I'm going to end this video here because I don't think I'm going to get a completely full ring of flowers, and particularly at the moment where we've got the colder weather now. We've had quite unsettled weather. It's been snowing, it's been icy cold air. But despite that, this cactus has continued to open its flowers and flower for me over this period of horrible weather. So I think as the warmer weather approaches, and if it does get here in time, then I think I probably would get a lot more flowers opening up very quickly and perhaps more like a crown of flowers. This video is going to end up being a bit long, so I'm going to leave it here, but you get the idea of how beautiful the flowers are on this Mammillaria microhelia. And I have to say, this is now in one of my top favourite cacti, I think, because it's absolutely beautiful. Considering Mammillaria are quite a vast genus, so many different species, but this one is particularly attractive and it's a beautiful cactus, and I highly recommend it to anybody. So as soon as my mum saw this on my video, she was like, I need that cactus. So she's on the lookout for one of these cactus plants. And I do hope that I get seed from these, because it will be very interesting if they do go on to develop and produce a very two-toned coloured flower perhaps. But that's a long way into the future, because as you know, cactus can grow very slowly. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you haven't already subscribed, do consider subscribing. Like, comment and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! So while I'm here, I'm just going to show you a couple of cactus buds on another two plants. So you might remember this Mammillaria from quite a few weeks ago when I showed you it had a few buds. It has developed another couple of buds at the back, but as you can see, in comparison to the Mammillaria microhelia, this is moving very slowly and does perhaps require hotter temperatures to continue with the flowering process. And then you probably all remember this cactus, so I've got absolutely loads of buds on this, and they are quite funny to look at when you get up close. But this one again perhaps requires a lot more heat for these to really come into flower. So there you go. So it's rather different compared to the Mammillaria microhelia again, which seems to be flowering abundantly despite the lower air temperature. And they are both under the same grow lights. Okay then, bye!